Welcome to In the Loop, the Charlotte Area Chambers podcast, where we talk about everything Charlotte with area business and community leaders. Here are your hosts, Chamber Chief Operating Officer Michael Orzak and CEO of Chase Media, Diane Chase.
So I'm just here under this fabulous new invention, this beautiful umbrella, and we're going to talk about that on this edition of In the Loop. So take it away, Ryan.
So Diana, thank you for having me today. I didn't mention it before, but today's my birthday.
Oh my gosh.
And so there's nowhere else I'd rather be. I feel like this is like the best birthday present I could have, to be able to, for the
100%.
first time, introduce the umbrella here in the US. So you guys are the first podcast where we're showing it.
This is really exciting. We're very fortunate to be the first to learn about this, to share with the community about this fantastic new invention. And it really does have a story. I always want to know the story. What's your origin story?
Well, okay. So before we go into how the umbrella started, so I used to work in the Caribbean as a sailor. Oh. So that's kind of where a lot of the design comes from. Like I prefer the rope and pulleys because we're lifting canvas, and maybe that's why I was always interested in umbrellas. But I just had the idea that I wanted to be cool outside. I run a little hot, maybe, so I'm always feeling hot.
Cool, but then you want to be cooler.
Yeah, that's right. So I was trying to think of how could I build an umbrella, a better umbrella. That's kind of what I do. I try to take a staple product and make it better. And I tried a lot of things. I tried blowing air up through the pipe and having vents. I tried having a fan in the canopy that would blow air down. And then it turned out the most simple way was the best way. So if you look here, we have a large fan, and it's locked in place against the rib, so it doesn't move. So the whole umbrella folds up like a normal umbrella. It looks like a normal umbrella. But then when I hit the button, it's going to activate, it unlocks, and begins spinning. You can see it's totally quiet, and it blows quite a bit of wind. There's nothing that really compares to a large diameter fan blade. And then we can go up to second gear, and we're blowing even more. You can really feel that. I mean, if you stand under it, we'll be able to see your hair moving.
Wow.
And then third, and I mean, that's a lot of wind. And then when you turn it off, so you can, right, it's really, well, and then when I turn it off, it's going to stop, and then it locks into place.
Oh, wow.
And then each person has their own fan. You could imagine there'd be a table here. So you'd be sitting, it doesn't blow onto your table like a pedestal where it's a cross, but it blows onto you. So I think it's the best angle. And the other cool thing is if you're sitting farther away, it blows wind down and out. So it cools the whole space, and you can really like feel it if you're sitting 10 feet away from it.
That's amazing. So I'm thinking about mosquitoes because I actually have a stand-up fan on my patio because mosquitoes from 100 miles away will find me and bite me. So I have a fan to kind of blow
to keep the air. So this will do that as well. You also have USB chargers. So you could actually have an electronic bug catcher on your table if you wanted. I didn't build lights into this one, but what we do is we plug a light and then hang it, and then it comes down here. Because I just wanted it to be as robust and bulletproof as I possibly could get it.
Right. But you could put some lights. Are you going to have some with lights around?
So we have a cantilever that's almost finished. So the cantilever, has the pole that comes off to the side.
Right.
So it has, on these empty ones here, it has lights, has the 4 fans, and then it's remote controlled. Because but then the USBs are on the pole over here. But because you're farther away from the pole, so
right, and those are the ones that without our table.
Yeah, that's right. The cantilever is a much bigger product.
Is this a 9-foot?
This is a 10-foot. Oh, so you know your umbrella. So 9-foot is the standard for the American market. This is a 10-foot, and then we have the square, and that's more for commercial settings. So this model here is a 10-foot wood grain finish, and when we did our Kickstarter, this was the one that most people chose. So this is the one that we're launching with this month. That's on the way. It'll arrive here in a few weeks.
Wow. It really is it's a beautiful, beautiful umbrella too. Press the button.
Oh, so I can show you. So it can either plug into a wall socket, or you can use a battery like we have here, because. But
does that come with it?
It doesn't come with it. And this isn't our base. This is a third-party base. So we just sell the umbrella right now. But you'd imagine there'd be a table. So if you wanted to plug it into a battery, you want to have the cord there, or you plug it into the wall, then it's
same thing.
Say you don't ever have to worry about it, right? It's like semi-permanent.
So all of that's
basically.
not necessary. You can just use a regular cord.
Yeah, that's right. You just plug it in, forget about it. And then there's some other cool features, like, so if the fans are running here, you can see, and let's say it's at a restaurant and the employees are shutting down, or there's a big wind coming.
Right.
So you can just look down. So it has an automatic shut off. So they stop in place, locks, and it won't turn on when it's closed.
Right.
It doesn't draw any power when it's off. It's just made to make your outdoor space more comfortable, keep you cool, keep you sitting outside longer.
So is your target market then commercial more than residential, or both?
So I think it would be great at a coffee shop. I think a hotel outdoor, where they have the outdoor seating for the restaurants or the buffets, would be perfect. Anybody that has a nice outdoor space with let's say a big green egg, actually, when
like
I'm grilling, sometimes I pulled it up to like blow wind into the. Yeah, so anywhere you want to be cooler, and I think it makes sense.
I think this is so attractive.
Cigar bars.
Yeah,
yeah, that's right. It blows the smoke away.
Exactly. Around a pool, I just see this beautiful.
Well, we have a
pool.
2-fan version as well, and after you've experienced it, I promise you're going to be sitting outside one day under an umbrella, and you're going to say, "Why?" Like I really think this is the future of outdoor comfort. That this is going to be a staple that you're going to start seeing everywhere.
Very
and
interesting.
Our main competitor would be Tucci. So Tucci is a massive umbrella company. They're sponsoring America's Cup yachts. They're like the Rolex of umbrellas, right?
Okay.
And their umbrellas are $1,500, but it's the same. We just did a wind tunnel test. We stand up to the same amount of wind that they do. We look just as good as them, but ours blows wind, and it's 1/3 the cost. So that's how I plan to. I want to be the
That's your
umbrella
goal,
company
yeah.
that everybody knows.
So the $1,500 Tucci doesn't have the wind
No.
thing.
They look nice, but there's no
These look nice.
difference in material, or that's right. We really spent a lot of time trying to make this one as beautiful as possible as well. But then you have the added benefit that you can actually blow wind down. I mean, not every outdoor space is suitable, but I think that the whole point of the umbrella is to keep you cooler.
Right.
So if you can buy a high-end umbrella, it's going to give you shade, and then plus it's waterproof, blows wind onto you, I think it's a much better deal.
Okay. Hey everyone, welcome. We're now in the studio. We've moved from out in the lobby area showing the umbrella, and here we are in the studio to continue the discussion. So take it away, Diane.
That was fantastic. And mentioning the origin story about you literally have that founder's story where you were experiencing something personally and said, we need to fix this. We need to improve this. So share a little bit about that, if you would.
Yeah. So my origin story, when I look at entrepreneurship, so people ask me so I'm working on a project and they're worried if it's not going to work, but I don't really look at it like that. I look at it's all as long as you're building the skills, and it's a continuous process, right? So I've done a lot of different jobs, and I feel like each one contributes to what I'm doing now. So there's skills that I learned in my past experiences that I'm always trying to apply. So, for example, when I graduated high school, I became a professional sailor. That's where the name Alize comes from. Alize is the trade wind in the Caribbean where I used to live. And I didn't show you on the umbrella, but I have West Indies written up there as kind of like a tribute to it. An umbrella is very similar to a sailboat. You're lifting canvas with ropes and pulleys. Similar physics, you got to be able to stand up to a lot of wind. After that, I went to university, and then I was doing air conditioning systems in New York City in the skyscrapers. That was pretty cool. Then I moved to China and did fish immunology. I know this sounds crazy. So I was like a fish scientist for a few years.
Okay, let me just go on record as saying you were the first fish scientist we've ever had on the program, and the first one I've ever known. Okay.
And one day while I was sitting on the side of the road, a guy approached me, and I was like eating steam buns or something outside the Science Institute. And he was like I manufacture golf products. You want to come see what I have? And so, long story short, I started working with him, and I designed a golf net that pops up and would like return the ball to you. And I founded a sports product company based on that. And I designed batting tees, more golf nets, rebounders, and that company got pretty big. We had an office and big house that used to be owned by Napoleon's something. His brother's wife.
God!
Yeah, it's a crazy story. But I left that company in 2019, and then I spent several years just designing, and I designed quite a few products. But the umbrella was really, I just like, it is like something it is like the best product I've ever invented, and it works so well, and I really like want to put all my energy behind it, and that's what I'm doing. I've been doing it for a year and a half now. We made it through the Kickstarter campaign. We're trying to get our certification for the Australia market. We have a sales rep down in Australia. We have a sales rep in Europe, and we also have a distributor in the Middle East. And now I have products on the water coming here.
That's incredible. So you really are going after a global market.
And so I have for my sports product. So I invented a lot of products, and then now they're totally ubiquitous. So I kind of like learned about patents that way, that you need to protect your invention. And I've also been hit, I've been on the other side of it, and I really like learned patents. Like, you do not want to be infringing somebody's patent. Like I've been through it. It's awful.
You were on the losing end of that.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's 2 times I've been. I mean, not on purpose. It was just from misunderstanding. People say, "Oh, you need to change a product 10%, then you're around the patent." That's not true at all. It's different. So, like I was saying, today's my birthday. My parents got me this present here.
Oh, do so.
So they got me a little plaque for because I think this is the best patent I've ever gotten. Like, because there's nothing even close to it, and the patent office just came back, and we were granted the patent. So that's the umbrella patent right there. So you're welcome to look it up on.
Ingrained and everything.
Look at that.
Yeah, it looks cool, right?
With the image and everything. It's very.
So that's really important. So I really think that the umbrella is the simplest, most robust design possible. Like in my design ethos, that's what you want, especially for something that's going to be outside. And we just tested it in the wind tunnel. I didn't sleep the night before. You can check out our Facebook page and see some of the footage of like these things getting blown in 40 mile an hour winds. Like, that's what the distributors ask. They want to make sure it can send up to 30 miles an hour. We made it over 40. We haven't even hit the top, like where it breaks, because the bases gave out before the actual umbrella did.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that for mostly around coastal communities?
So when we were at trade shows, there's these distributors come up, and they're like, "Have you ever seen a a resort after like 30 mile an hour. You never seen it before, like they're like freaked out. So I think that they've been like through it, like where they sold a bunch of umbrellas and they're all destroyed,
Yeah.
Right.
So it's important to them. And then after seeing it in the wind tunnel, I see why it's a valuable test. And I learned quite a bit from it. And I learned I need to decide the umbrella broke. So I need to have used, they bent before the umbrella broke. So I need to have my own base. But it takes me it's hard to design a product and then manufacture it well. So, but that's what I love doing, really. Is
And
like
bases would be very heavy to ship.
Yeah, that's right. That's why you didn't start with it. But there's a need for it. I can see it.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Very interesting. So you truly are the entrepreneur with all of your different. I mean, you've had several different careers, really.
Yeah.
Going from fish to golf. I'm like, golfing fish, I don't know.
That's right.
But I mean, that was quite a segue. And going from being a sailor to now a businessman.
That's right. I saw on the yachts that I used to work on who owned a yacht, really. And it's either somebody that inherited a lot of money or they started a business. And that was the only two people. And then these guys that own the yachts, they own like weird business. It would be like, this guy owns like 6 pet stores and he has like a massive yacht. And that kind of like, so I said, if I want to like really go sailing, I need to start a business. And then it's led me here. And then the other thing I've also learned is you can't get too focused on the end. You have to enjoy the journey. You can't be too serious about it. When I was doing my sports product business, it almost killed me. Like I was, it really like almost had like a mental breakdown, the stress. And so now I've learned to enjoy the journey. There's certain things you can't control. I have my process. I try to build the best product I possibly can because I don't feel comfortable going out and selling something that's garbage. Like, so I'm not the best salesperson, so I need to be excited about it. And I have strategy for me to be able to come here and talk to you about it.
100%.
So that's kind of my strategy. Build the best product I possibly can. And now I let it, I see where it's going to take me. And I get to work hard and I'm working for myself. Like everything I do is for my company. I really love it. I'm really, I have a lot of stress and I'm always dealing with problems, but I really enjoy what I'm doing. Like I love it.
You're just so passionate. I mean, I can feel your passion for your work, and it's the reason you get up in the morning, right?
That's right.
And
that's right.
And that's something everyone needs to feel like. I can't wait for this new day because I'm going to do this and that and the next thing. Did you come up with a business model as you were formulating the concept, or what?
So what I did with this company is the outdoor furniture market is a very each product is its own like little like world, So what I did is I chose my business partner, or my business partner chose me. I don't know how you want to say it, but he has been in the outdoor furniture business for many years. So so that's what I was looking for. So that's what I think makes it a great partnership.
Absolutely.
So Tony Lee, he's my business partner. He's I knew him for a long time. He has a great reputation for like being an honest business person, which is, so everybody has these horror stories about their business partners, right? Yeah. So you really have to be, so I've built a company before, and I call them landmines, the things that can really screw you up as you're building it.
Right.
And I feel like I know where a lot of those are and where not to step, and what to be careful about. And so that's what I'm right in the beginning, but because I've done it once before, I know how to
navigate all of that.
To try to navigate as best I can.
Yeah.
That's right.
All I am thinking is you need to write a book for sure. Absolutely. Am I right?
Yeah, and I also think that, like, when you were talking about the yachts and the people that own them and the people you met, maybe that wasn't their first business either.
Yeah.
And so you're the type of guy that says, okay, I tried this, I'm going to go try something else.
Yeah.
That didn't catch, I'm going to go do this.
Yeah.
And so you're one of those people that's not going to give up, and you're out there, and I think you got a great product. I'm like, it's like one of those products you see and you go, why didn't I think of that? Or why hasn't it been invented?
Yeah,
by
that's
now,
right. It's weird that it hasn't been done before.
But there's, every time a new product comes out, I can remember when I was camping and one of my friends said, we need a light on the How long was the cooler? The next year, there were coolers with lights.
Yeah.
But how long was the cooler around without a light?
Yeah, and what Yeti did, right? So they're like a company to hold up on a pedestal, right? They took something that was totally cheap and like nobody would, and they did it better, and people really like responded to it. But I've also made missteps here. So I've designed a few products. And Dyson, I don't know if you listen to Dyson's like stories, but he invented a wheelbarrow before he did his, and he's like, there's no money in wheelbarrows. So I made that same mistake. I invented a greenhouse that like folds up so you can just put it away. I was like, this is the best greenhouse ever. And and nobody would pay more than like $20 for a greenhouse. So there's like no money in greenhouses. But umbrellas, it's kind of like a fashion statement, and then it also is like has a lot of utility. So I feel like it like hit the right balance that I was looking for.
Yeah. That was my first thought when I saw it. I was like, wow, this is a very high end. It's very classy looking.
Yeah.
I mean, when Michael first told me, he was like, I want to interview this umbrella guy.
Umbrella guy.
I'm like, I'm thinking
did
umbrella.
I say it like that?
Yes, you did. And so I'm like, okay, you're holding the umbrella and there's things like, twirling above your head. I'm like, it's going to get caught in my hair. I don't know. No, different umbrella. However, have you seen the hats? That
so
have
there's
the
a hat with a little thing. And
yeah.
there also is a golf umbrella that has a little fan on the pole that will blow it. It's like a handheld umbrella to keep you out of the sun.
Right.
So that exists.
Right.
But that's Americans. So in Asia, some people use that, right?
Right. Umbrellas a lot more.
Yeah, a lot more. They try to stay out of the sun, but it's not really an American. Maybe on the golf course, people do it.
But on your backyard patio.
Yeah. On your backyard, it's all about being comfortable, right? So if we can improve that experience and keep people sitting out, because it's getting hot, and it keeps getting hotter every year,
Yeah, exactly.
So as an entrepreneur and an inventor, because I don't want to leave out the inventor side of it, how do you tell people, how do you get started? Like, you're creative, you're sitting around thinking of something,
well, it
and then
sounds like
you're
you're
like,
very
hey,
motivated.
let's do this. Or do you spend a lot of time just thinking about what's out there? How do you get that creative going?
Yeah. So one thing with inventors, though, is we have this reputation of spending all our money on our inventions. So I have to be very because I'll spend all day, every day, like building, and but I have to like draw a line and say like, okay, I've got it. This is where I stop. Now it's time to go introduce it, and if this resonates, then I can keep building on it, and I'll keep building better and better products. I could spend another 5 years making, like, adding lights, adding misters, just on, but you have to have a balance where you have revenue coming in, and I think that this is a solid base model to introduce to the world that there's a better way to sit outside, and there's the umbrella hasn't been really touched in a long time. So, and then I would say if you want to start a company on something that you've invented, you need a prototype. So you need to build a prototype somehow, and then you also need IP. So that you don't have to have IP, but you're gonna spend all this time building it, trying to design something new, and then you're gonna spend all the time getting like traction. And then somebody's going to come in and undercut you. Somebody from China that can make something cheaper than you can. That's willing to take no profit margin, basically. So you need IP. And the way the internet's going, it's gotten a lot better. When I first started on the internet, selling on Amazon, if somebody copied your product, you like had to go after them and send them letters and stuff. But now you can just like tell Amazon they're copying my IP, and Amazon will shut them down. And then they have to come to you to like find a solution, there's it's getting better because Amazon doesn't want to deal with it, right?
Right.
Or any online retailer doesn't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh, back to the Kickstarter campaign.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that a little bit?
So we launched on Kickstarter. We wanted to, we did a 30-day campaign, and our goal was $20,000, and we did $33,000. So we sold about 100 umbrellas in a month, which is pretty good validation. I feel like 100 units, and the people don't know if it's going to show up. They don't know if we know what we're doing, because there's a lot of
Because you just have a concept at that point.
Well, we had a prototype, and we did a video of it.
Okay.
But on Kickstarter,
It's a product that hasn't been fully manufactured.
it hasn't been made.
Right?
We hadn't even done the
been
molds, so they don't know
Okay.
when it's going to show up. We told them we were going to ship in like October, and we shipped in December. So we were a little late, but in Kickstarter standards, that's pretty good, because sometimes these guys go for years. But we already had some pretty good experience with manufacturing. We knew what we were doing. We tried to like communicate that, and Kickstarter backers are notorious for like, if somebody doesn't deliver, they just like, I don't know if you ever read the comments, they go crazy. And we could have kept the campaign going. So once you're funded, you can like make it like you can just keep selling. But I know it looks simple, but there's a lot going on there, and it has to survive outside. So I really didn't want to get in the situation where we had a bunch of products out in the world, and then there's some mistake that I didn't catch that shows up in 6 months, and then I have to deal with the customer service, right?
Absolutely.
You can't just leave it on the people.
No.
So it was kind of like our beta. We're able to like launch with like what canopy color they like, and then we were able to like launch with like the most information possible to get it right. And those Kickstarter ones have been out, and every time you do a production run, you get better. You find better ways to make to put it together, to assemble it. You find little issues. So the longer you're doing something, the better you get at it.
So what advice would you have to someone who's interested, who has an idea or a prototype or whatever?
Yeah.
How would you advise them to pursue that?
So you need to build it. That's what I would say. You need to test it to make sure it works. Like there's a lot of things. I always see it in my mind, and it makes perfect sense.
And then reality hits. Yeah.
But you can make it out of like little pieces of wood, right. You can
make a model.
Don't spend a bunch of money. Don't go paying somebody a lot of money. Like that's the other thing. You have to be very careful with resources. Like it's all about allocation of so.
Do you have to keep it secret at that point? I mean, when do you go to the patent office and do your research?
You don't. I would almost say that you don't want to be too secretive, because you need to like talk to people to like get their feedback.
Okay.
When I was developing this, I was very nervous in the beginning. Like, do I want to show people? But this is also what goes on in the inventor's mind is you see it like, oh my God, why wouldn't everybody want this? But there's a whole other side of like actually bringing it to market and investing in like, I mean, I had to buy like 15 tons of aluminum to like cut up to like make so there's a lot more so there's the idea, but then like to actually get it to something that you can sell and get out there, you got to remember that. So maybe don't go talking to the CEO of Lowe's or Home Depot about your invention, right? But I don't think there's too much problem like talking like we are right now, like about new ideas or what have you, you know. And then as soon as you can get provisional patent. Well, the other advice I'd say is if you can hold off on the provisional as long as possible, because it's very easy to file it too quickly, and then you have a year until you file your utility, and the utility is really expensive to do right. So you want to hold off as long as you can until it's as close to like what you want it to be as possible. Then file your utility, and then hopefully you can bring it to market before you need to pay for the utility, so that you can figure out what. If it's a valid idea, because I mean, even like it could be a great idea and it just doesn't resonate, you know, and you'll just never get there.
Mm-hmm. But the fact that you have already touched global markets at this stage of the game is pretty impressive. So you were confident that this would appeal to a global marketplace?
Oh, when I show it to the buyer, like I've had people come to the factory when I was like developing it. And they're like, "Oh my God, yes!" Like people that are in the umbrella industry see it, they know it. Mm-hmm. The issue though is they want the cheapest product possible. So that's the other. I don't want to. So it's made out of aluminum because they want it made out of steel, but it's not going to last as long. Mm-hmm. I have the patent on it, so nobody else can do this. So I would much rather build the best product, the most beautiful products, like something that I can really like
you can be proud of.
Yeah. Instead of like going for the easy low-hanging fruit and letting somebody else kind of.
But when I
can control customer service and talk to the customers myself.
Well, what it comes down to is your reputation.
That's right, and that's all you really have.
If you don't have reputation and credibility,
yes.
you might get some early, big bucks, and then people will go away.
That's right. And it's difficult too because you see these entrepreneurs that like crush it based on like some like knick-knack, you're like, what am I doing wrong? Like, why don't I just go do that? But I don't know. I really enjoy what I like. I love like building stuff and then that. I'm still on like a little bit of a high from that wind tunnel test to like actually see it like make it. My dad came and helped me set it up.
Where's the wind tunnel?
In Mooresville. So there's only one on the East Coast and there's only one on the West Coast.
That's
so it's like here.
Amazing.
Yeah, I know, it's unbelievable. And Mooresville has all like a broken umbrella base and there's a guy that like welded it back. It's like in some dude's garage. Yeah. It's really Mooresville's incredible.
Yeah, that's all for the racing.
Yeah, all for the racing.
Well, that's exactly right.
That's exactly
unbelievable. Technology and stuff here.
Yeah, like a do-it-yourself attitude. Like you go to like people's houses and they're like they have a garage. It's just unbelievable.
I can fix that. I can make that. Yeah. That's so fascinating. So, what does success look like for you?
What would success look for me? So I would be selling these things to resorts, hotels, and people's homes, and people contacting me and telling me that they love it. So that really is validation. The other thing that I really love is I really like it when people see it and they're like and they get it. That kind of like for some reason I get like really excited about that.
Sure.
And then, I mean, I would like to be the number one umbrella brand. Like I feel that with this, that it really, it takes it to another level. Like that I can actually be the number one umbrella brand. So that means I got to have the quality and I got to have it look good. And then another electronics need to be bulletproof in it because then why would you choose another umbrella that's more expensive than the one that can blow wind on you, looks good, and functions the same as any other umbrella? Like I think that we could like, it's really going to change the market. I would. That's what I like to see. It's like even like in like 20 years when I've got people copying me and they've figured out some way to like do something, like I'll know that like I really like I changed something. I made a mark in the universe, I guess would be what to say it.
I guess that's like an inventor's dream.
Yeah, that's right. That is.
You put a dig in the universe.
And then when I'm sailing my boat, I'll stop at a beach bar, and they'll have some my umbrellas, and I can tell everybody that's my umbrella.
You're like,
and they're like, sure it is.
By the way, you're welcome. You are welcome. Very cool. Yes, I used to sell OPBs, other people's boats.
Yeah, of course.
So now you can move out of that category. What a pleasure. Any final words of wisdom, Ryan?
I just would like to say thank you to all our Kickstarter backers, first off, for getting us this far, right? And thank you guys for having me today. And thank you for everybody. So my parents have helped me out, my business partner, everybody that believes in it and has gotten us this far. Our sales reps. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Great.
Thanks you
for being here on the Loop today.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for joining us on In the Loop, the Charlotte Area Chamber weekly business and community podcast with your hosts, Michael Orsak and Diane Chase. If you'd like to be a sponsor, please contact us through our website, charlotteareachamber.com. Join us again next week for the latest scoop in the loop.